Cynthia Kenyon, Revolutionizing Aging. Cynthia Kenyon is a molecular biologist. She was born on February 21, 1954, in Chicago, Illinois. She grew up having a fascination with the natural world around her that continued into college. Cynthia attended the University of Georgia for her undergraduate degree. She majored in chemistry and biochemistry. In 1976, she graduated as valedictorian. She completed her PhD program at Massachusetts Institute of Technology and graduated in 1981. Cynthia did her postdoctoral studies in Cambridge, United Kingdom, at the MRC Laboratory of Molecular Biology. Here, she worked with Sidney Brenner, a Nobel laureate. While at the MRC, Cynthia was one of a few women researching there. She was a pioneer for women in the biological sciences, experiencing the many challenges that women in science often encounter. Recently, she has spoken at a conference discussing women in science at the MRC. She was also a part of a book called Ahead of the Curve, Women Scientists at the MRC Laboratory of Molecular Biology. Although not much is known about Cynthia's personal life or hobbies, she has experimented with dieting due to her research. Cynthia has spent much of her research on the roundworm. After witnessing the negative effects that sugar had on the roundworms, she went on a low-carbohydrate diet. However, she decided she could not continue the diet as the hunger pains were too great. One of the things I admire about Cynthia is her determination as a scientist. She continued her research no matter what happened. She has been a professor and involved in many private biology research companies, with her current involvement in Calico. She did not limit herself to one aspect of research, instead opting to pursue both avenues. I identify with her as she's also a woman in biology, just like I am. She's accomplished many of the things that I would like to, such as being a professor. Cynthia shows me that no matter what, I can accomplish anything that I desire. As I mentioned before, Cynthia is a part of the company Calico, which hopes to discover ways to reverse aging. She is a lead scientist in biogerontology, researching the ways that genetics affect aging. Her main question in her research is, how do genetics affect the aging process, and how can aging be reversed in humans? Cynthia's most recent publication is from 2022 with Calico. Her research has always used C. elegans, also known as roundworms. This research focused on the potential of using new technology to identify and test genes in C. elegans that could contribute to aging. Before the development of the observatory, lab technicians would have to manually control experiments, which is much more laborious and time-consuming. The observatory continuously monitors plates of C. elegans, records the data, and computes it. There are many experiments done to evaluate the ability of the observatory to perform the desired functions. One of the most important aspects of the machinery was the effect, if any, it would have on the lifespan of C. elegans. These figures represent the results of the lifespan determination experiment of the observatory. Panel A is a series of snapshots taken successively from the testing of the C. elegans lifespan and the equipment. The color of the pictures allows the researchers to identify which animals are dead, moving only part of their body, or moving their whole body. This helped the researchers identify time of death for each worm. Panel B shows the lifespan of C. elegans on the RNAi control bacteria in the incubator or the observatory. All data indicated that the C. elegans were living normal length lives in the observatory. The lifespan of the animals is not affected by the machinery, so one of the most important aspects of the observatory is successful. Cynthia and the team at Calico have found that the observatory is extremely successful at its desired purposes. It will greatly decrease the time required to experiment on the aging genes of the C. elegans. It will also decrease the amount of work that is required to manually monitor the worms. The next step for Cynthia and Calico is to use this machine more efficiently so that they can move quickly through their research in order to identify the genes involved in the aging process.